Well, a team that is already sitting at home, the
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens, Mia. What went down here?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's Tyler Huntley attempting a quarterback sneak that apparently wasn't game ready. No, I'm just kidding. He literally ran into the hands of Logan Wilson and pushed back, and then it was returned by Sam Hubbard for a touchdown, 98-yard sprint. But the real fallout from this game, John, and we'll dive into the Lamar Jackson factor in terms of
I have a
long-term
feeling we'll be
contract.
talking about Lamar Jackson for several weeks to come.
Yes, we're going to be talking about Lamar for quite some time, and we'll be talking about whether or not his future in Baltimore is over. But the real fallout regarded J.K. Dobbins, the running back, Ohio State product for Baltimore, who said that he believes it would have been a different result had the Ravens, number one, gotten him the ball, not quarterback Tyler Huntley, on that fourth quarter play near the goal line on the 2-yard line. He also then said, excuse me, I should preface this with, sorry. So Huntley, we know he fumbles the ball away. J.K. Dobbins says if he had the ball, it would have been different. Then he goes on to say, the Ravens would have won the game if Lamar Jackson had played. But then he retracted that and said, no, nothing against Tyler. He shouldn't have even been put in that situation. It's just if Lamar had played two, that would have helped. Yeah, because you can totally play two quarterbacks. John, is a product of Urban Meyer being a bad teammate or speaking the truth?
Listen, he's not wrong that if they had Lamar, they probably win the game. They probably win that game. And as you said, that is a larger conversation to be had about should Lamar have played in this game?
Well, moreover, let's talk about Lamar being at home.
I don't have a problem with that. And I'll tell you why I don't have a problem with that, because that is a standard that I think is being unfairly held against him, where just about every other major contributor to a team that's hurt doesn't generally travel with the team. That's not like this, oh my goodness, that dude broke his ankle, but he's on the sideline. Does it happen? I'm sure it happens.
I mean, when you're the quarterback and you're the quote-unquote face of the franchise?
I don't know. I don't think it's all that unusual if a player is hurt and doesn't make the trip, because there are also complications that arise with travel if you're injured, and like being air pressure in a cabin on a plane can also contribute to that. So I'm not going to get too much on Lamar for that. I know some people are. If you want to, go ahead. This may be a little bit of a slight to Huntley, but I think everything Dobbins said was fair. It was questionable coaching pretty much that entire second half, in my opinion, from John Harbaugh, including the clock management at the end of that game. I thought this was a very winnable game for the Ravens, and they left it on the table there. That this was a game they could have won, which I don't think anyone was really expecting them to win, but they could have. And that stings, especially when your season comes to an end as a result of that, Mia. I do want to give credit to Mike Tirico for the call on that 98-yard return. I thought that was one of the best calls Mike Tirico's ever had.
You mean you thought it was better than Al Michaels' call of a game-winning field goal?
It wasn't great.
When the third largest comeback in NFL postseason or NFL history. Yeah.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't great. That's okay, Al. We still like
I love Al. I love
Al.
I
do too. That's why I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed.
Trevor Lawrence. I can give you Al if you need Al. It's just it was disappointing.
Yeah, it was for sure. No, to answer your question, I think while J.K. Dobbins perhaps didn't choose the right words, which isn't surprising. Again, product of Urban Meyer. Nothing against J.K. Dobbins. Seems like a great guy. And my cousin, who's a season ticket holder, texted me, shout out to cousin Dan, and said, if J.K. Dobbins has more than 20 carries, we are in this ball game. To which I responded to Dan, this is going to be a matchup eerily similar to the Jaguars and the Titans last week, in that the lesser opponent has to make it a rock fight if they're to have any chance in this one. And that's what the Ravens did. So credit to them where credit is due. But no, I think that this speaks to a larger issue within the Baltimore Ravens organization, therefore, are the players' side. Well, first of all, J.K. Dobbins saying, I should have had the ball. That is very anti-Ravens. We've grown up in an era where the Ravens are this premier franchise.
Who should have had the ball? Pat Ricard should have had the ball.
There it is. Come on, Greg Roman. Get your ish together.
The pride of University of Maine should have had the ball.
Exactly. Greg Roman, come on, man. You need to draw more fullback plays. But no, the fact of the matter is that the Ravens organization has always been regarded as, we're all about the name on the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey. And this was a very back of the jersey name from J.K. Dobbins, even if he obviously believed that would have led to a different outcome for the entire team as a whole. But it also says to me, and again, Tyler Huntley's the backup, and he's not the face of the franchise. And I don't think he will be if Lamar Jackson leaves.
No.
But does it say to you, John, that there is discontent in Baltimore, a place where there has seemingly been consistency and stability
Definitely.
for decades.
I think there definitely is, because this kind of window here, the Lamar window, we can call it, the 2019 to 2023 window, where Lamar won an MVP and it looked like that this was going to be a team that could go to a Super Bowl. They missed. They missed in the window. And now it looks like there's a good chance Lamar could leave. So the frustration boils over. There's discontent. I understand everything that Dobbins is saying. Did he go about it the right way? That's an argument you can make either way. But I understand it. I do think this is discontent. And I think the Ravens have missed their window. And I want to get this super chat in, this $2 super chat in. Thank you, Bam255019. Says, glad Lamar didn't play. Don't end up like RG3. What do you think of that?
Very
Mia?
true. Very, very true. And that was a conversation, I believe, on all the pregame and postgame shows, because there were several former players turned analysts saying he should play. No, if
It could change that trajectory.
If you have been disrespected the way that he apparently felt that he was, with the price tag that was attached to him preseason, and then for them to say, well, you owe us, you need to go out and do this. And meanwhile, still not offering him money right now. And yes, I know they agreed that they weren't going to talk until the end of the season. But at the same time, like there's got to be a little give here. If you're going to tell me I need to risk raising my price tag and I need to risk my career and potentially worsen an injury that not only could affect me, but it could affect you if I stick around. Again, and I don't know, again, if we find out that this injury actually isn't that severe and he's been faking a lot of it, that's where things are going to get interesting.
We're never going to know that. We're never going to know the answer to that. So draw your own conclusions. Oh, this is a great one. Look at that right there. I love this.
What's on them? Are they just straight frog legs, or is that like
the backstory
tomato
here,
sauce?
On the best show in sports television, Shaq lost a bet when TCU lost to Georgia in the national championship game, and because they are the Horned Frogs, he had to eat frog legs on air. And the entire studio team was like disgusted by this. But I got to ask you, is this really all that bad of a lost bet for Shaq? I mean, he was enjoying it. He was going to town on this. These looked like they were prepared in almost a barbecue manner. It looked like he had some like Creole.
It is Atlanta. They do film the show in Atlanta, so the barbecue sauce makes sense.
Well, it looked like he might have had some sort of like Creole dipping sauce when I was watching the video here. I mean, are frog legs all that bad, Mia, at the end of the day?
No, apparently in France, they're like a delicacy, aren't they?
I mean, it's not just in France. I feel like in the U.S., people eat frog legs. Am I again?
Have you ever had frog legs, John Alba?
I have.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Why is I'm very much a foodie who's like, again, I watch grilling videos at 3 a.m. every single morning. Like this, I'm about this. So when I saw frog legs, I'm like, oh, that's not that weird. And then I saw everyone else was like, oh my God, Shaq is eating frog legs. Like, really? Is it that strange? Like, I'm all about trying the exotic.
What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? This is Know Your News. We do take things out of bounds and into the weird and wacky.
And if anyone wants to tell us theirs, leave a super chat. I'd love to see what some of the weirdest things you guys have eaten. I've had rattlesnake.
That was going to be mine.
Yeah.
I love rattlesnake because it tastes like calamari.
It's similar. Yeah. I'd say it was similar. I love gator. I don't think gator's all that weird.
Gator's good. Yeah, gator's good. Well, and so we just listed some amphibian life. So it's similar to the frog.
Yeah, frog legs to me.
It probably tastes like that. Well, I mean, gator and a rattlesnake are deep fried.
They can be. They don't have to be. I've had many different types of gator. I've had fried gator. I've had blackened gator. I've had grilled gator. I even had a dry aged gator.
I have had grilled gator too.
I've had gator jerky as well. That was interesting. But the frog legs, they taste kind of like chicken and fish. There's like a weird like consistency in between the middle there. So it's not quite as flaky as fish, but it's not as firm as chicken either. I didn't think they had any like supreme weird taste to them, especially if you get a dipping sauce there. I didn't think the ones he was eating looked that bad.
And as long as you got the dipping sauce, in my estimation, just lather it up, man.
They were like appalled. I can't remember if it was Kenny or if it was Chuck, but one of them
probably Chuck.
One of them was just like, this is disgusting. And I don't know. Maybe am I weird for thinking that this isn't that disgusting?
I don't think so. Have we had any super chats? Yo, everyone, Get on YouTube, get your super chats in,
Let us know
and
here because maybe
comment
maybe
on
I'm in the wrong.
YouTube.
Maybe I'm in the wrong. I don't know.
Have you had frog legs before? Are they disgusting? Are they not? Please
I
respond.
I don't think they're that disgusting. Like if you were to be like Shaq has to eat tripe, which is sheep stomach. That to me would be more of a disgusting bet. And I'm sorry if anyone likes tripe out there. But like that to me is more
Tripe.
disgusting.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. Otherwise, we'll start posting spoilers about your favorite new movies.